Hello, everybody. I'm Ryan Wall, and this past Sunday night in London, England, at Wembley Stadium, in front of 50,000 plus fans in attendance, was All in London Part 2. The first time they went was last year in 2023. All Elite Wrestling returned to Wembley Stadium, over 50,000 plus people. But I want to talk about the main event. It was Swerve Strickland, then AEW World Champion, taking on the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. And Bryan said leading up to this fight, it was a career versus title fight. If Bryan lost, he would have put his illustrious 25-year plus career to the end, and he would have retired right then and there in Wembley Stadium. His kids were there in the front row for the first time. His wife Brie was there, as we know, WWE Hall of Famer in her own right. But it was just, to me, it had that big fight feel by the time it went on, and it lived up to the hype and more. It was a great in-ring wrestling pure match. There were submission attempts, there were some high-flying spots, and we even saw a lot of blood when Strickland slammed Bryan down on the bell that Prince Nana brought in during the match and busted Bryan's head open, hit him right on the head. It seemed like he got hit on his neck too, his shoulder. He By the end of that match, Bryan was torn apart. But the one thing that he showed throughout that fight, and it kind of just took you through his career and what he has meant to pro wrestling. He's been the heart and soul of pro wrestling for the last 20 plus years because he always fights. He always comes to fight. He never is out of a match, and he showed that even when he was bloody. And Swerve hit so many just devastating moves toward him. Bryan, he saw his family in the front row. They inspired him. The crowd, the yes chants at the end. You really think in all of sports and in pro wrestling, when he had that great moment at WrestleMania 30, that's a once in a lifetime moment. I still think that moment's on a different level, but they kind of, to me, did a great job of recapturing that amazing moment for a second time. Because to me, when Bryan won that title in front of 50,000 plus people, that is, he said that was his best accomplishment of his career after the match. I think that's one of the best moments in professional wrestling history, period. That moment will go down for the ages, for the rest of time, and it's just one of the best moments that I've ever seen and that a lot of others have too, just because it real Daniel Bryan in WWE was such a real competitor, a real guy. And when he's brought that to AEW the last couple years, and now he's fighting in his real name, Bryan Danielson, and he brought back his old music from that they used in Ring of Honor. It really just a full circle moment. And it's just great to see that Daniel Bryan had success, that character, for 10 plus years in WWE, but now he main evented Wembley Stadium. He won at Wembley Stadium. He won another world title from another major wrestling company. He's only one of a few guys that has won the WWE Championship, the AEW Championship, and that's Chris Jericho, that's John Moxley, and that's CM Punk, who I'm wearing his shirt right now. Those are the only three other guys that have done that. Bryan's the ninth AEW World Champion in their a little over 5-year history at this point. So it's just great to see. There's no better guy for it to happen to than Bryan, because he's such a family man. He's such a great guy, and we saw wrestling got taken away from him just a couple years ago, from about 2016 to 2018. And then even after that, he wrestled Kofi for the belt at WrestleMania 35, lost that, and then he lost at WrestleMania 37. I was there in Tampa to Edge and Roman in a triple threat, a great triple threat match. And so to see him now, after all those failed championship tries, to now put it all together, it's just unbelievable that Bryan Danielson is the AEW world champion. He still is, to me, the best technical wrestler in the world, without a doubt. It doesn't matter what company. But overall, All In was great. That main event was one of the best I can remember in any pro wrestling company in a long time. But thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.